This video is brought to you by Skillshare. So how do you capture a hyperlapse sequence using nothing but your phone? Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you tips as well as showing you how to capture shots just like this. These are easy to shoot, easy to edit, and I'm going to show you exactly how. It's coming up. Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and today we're talking all about hyperlapse sequences and how to shoot them using nothing but a smartphone. Now, a hyperlapse, for those of you that don't know, is a moving time lapse. With a time lapse, the camera is locked off on a tripod or static, whereas with a hyperlapse, the camera is moving. For this video, I'm going to be using the iPhone 11, which has really good image stabilization, and this is going to come in really useful when it comes to capturing a nice smooth shot. The better your phone's image stabilization, the better your results will be. Now, I spent yesterday afternoon shooting some hyperlapse footage, which I'm about to show you now. I'm going to show you how I shot these clips, give you some tips for shooting your own, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to edit all of these clips together to create a sequence with music, sound effects, and color grading. But with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into this tutorial with how to shoot a hyperlapse. We're going to start by opening up our phone's camera app and selecting time-lapse mode. Then lock your focus and exposure by tapping and holding on your focal point. Hit record and start walking. That is it. You are now hyperlapsing. I'm just walking at a normal pace, trying to keep my phone as steady as I can for at least a minute. And yes, this footage does look terrible, but don't worry, because as soon as I finish recording, the phone will stabilize all of this footage so that it's nice and smooth. And when you're done, stop recording, and this is the result. Really easy to shoot, and the phone has edited it all for me. Now, that was very basic. How can we be a little bit more creative and start linking shots together? Well, we could try a rotate transition. This is going to require 2 shots, but it's still nice and easy. Shot number 1, exactly the same as before. We're going to find a focal point, lock focus and exposure, and start walking forwards. Only this time, we're slowly going to rotate our camera as we're walking forwards. Rotate it at least 180 degrees and stop recording. Now our shot finishes with this rotating movement like this. Shot number 2. This time we're going to lock focus and exposure, hit record, and rotate our phone to about 90 degrees and slowly start to walk forwards whilst rotating our camera like this. And the result, a hyperlapse that starts with a rotating movement. Now let's edit these 2 clips together to see the results. Okay, moving on, let's talk about locking onto your subject or focal point. This is where using the grids on your camera will come in really useful, so if you haven't already, make sure these are enabled, because this is really going to help with your framing and composition. For this shot, I'm going to try and keep this building in the center of frame at all times. Bonus tip, use elements within your environment to help you get a better shot. Take this wall, for example. I know this wall runs parallel to the building, so I'm using it to ensure I keep a nice straight line. Also note how I'm walking forwards, but my camera is facing to the left. Shooting this way will help you get a much steadier shot. Keep walking until you're happy with your shot and then stop. Using the grids on your phone will really help you keep your focal point in a fixed position, and this makes for a great hyperlapse shot. Here's another example. I'm using this curve that runs parallel to this hotel to ensure I keep a nice straight line, keeping the hotel in the center of frame throughout my shot, walking forwards, but keeping my camera facing to the left to ensure I get a nice steady shot. Now, a lot of what I'm teaching you today is relatively straightforward with just a little bit of practice. You just need the knowledge. Personally, I'm always looking to learn new things so that I can be more creative, and this is where Skillshare comes in. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives. It offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and much, much more. If you're a creative looking to learn, explore, and discover new things, then Skillshare is the place to do it. Skillshare has literally thousands of classes to help you grow as a creative. Mobile filmmaking courses, video editing, you name it. If you're a creative, Skillshare has got you covered. Put simply, Skillshare helps you grow as a creative. Gain those skills needed to turn your hobby into a career, land the clients you've always wanted to work with, make more money, be more creative. Whatever your goal is when it comes to creativity, Skillshare can help you get there. With classes to fit your schedule and skill level for less than $10 a month with an an annual subscription, you can binge knowledge to your heart's content. And the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So you've got nothing to lose. Use the link, take a class, soak up some knowledge, and get creative. Okay, let's talk the orbit shot. I'm going to use this giant sundial as an example for this one. Lock your focus and exposure. This time we're going to orbit around our focal point, keeping it in the center of frame at all times. Note how I'm using the bricked circle design on the ground to help keep an equal distance from my focal point at all times. And the result? This spinning orbit effect, a great shot to add to your videos. Okay, now let's combine what we've learned and try a push forward orbit shot. I'm going to use this giant anchor for this one. I'm going to walk forwards, and this time I'm going to try and keep the top of the anchor on this horizontal line. I'm going to push forward. As I get closer, I'm going to orbit around my focal point, all the way around, and then pull backwards. And you can apply this same technique to anything as long as you've got good clearance around your focal point. Take this lighthouse, for example. This is perfect for it. A path leading all the way towards it and good clearance all the way around. Experiment with this technique and get creative. Okay, one more tip before we edit all of this footage together to create a sequence, and that is the wipe transition. At the start of the day, I captured this shot of a tall building which ends with the camera looking up going through the subway. Later that day, I found a similar looking location, pointed my camera up, and tried to match the same framing and camera movement as shot number 1. I walked for a few seconds with my camera pointing up, and then slowly started to pan my camera down to reveal this beautiful sunset at a new location. The shot looks like this, but when edited with shot number 1, looks like this, a seamless transition which takes the audience to a completely new location. Now, for all of these shots so far, my focal point has been static, but this effect does work with moving objects. For example, whilst filming this lighthouse shot, I noticed that a naval ship was on its way into the naval base here in Plymouth. I quickly got into position and tracked the ship, keeping it in the center of frame at all times, and I thought this shot came out great. Mostly because it was completely unexpected, so it's worth experimenting with this technique because you never know what type of shot you might get. Now, let's edit all of these clips together to create a sequence using music, sound effects, and color grading. So there you have it. That was all of yesterday's hyperlapse footage edited into a sequence using music, sound effects, and color grading. A lot of that sequence was edited using simple cuts, so totally achievable for you to do the same using free editing software. But if you'd like me to do a more in-depth editing tutorial and show you how to edit a sequence like that, do let me know in the comments section below. And if you found this video useful, let me know by giving it the old thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this, learn more about video production, you can do that by watching one of my other videos just over there. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.